Hello and welcome to the Trojan TV broadcasting booth presented by Hillsboro High School's AV class. I am Colton Rimple. Working the main camera tonight will be Grace Hine, and working the side camera will be Owen Dalkey. This is the championship game of the Hillsboro High School Trojan Classic. It's the designated visiting team is the Holcomb Longhorns, and the designated home team is the Hesston Swathers. Before the beginning of the tournament, both Hesston was 6-1, Holcomb was 4-3. Hesston was the 1 seed, and Holcomb is a 3 seed. Some stars to look out for in this game are number 3 for Holcomb, number 3 Brody Dennison, number 13 Corbin Johnson, number 44 Drayton Knoll. For Hesston, number 1 Jackson Fry, number 5 Adrian Hernandez, and number 14 Reed Friesen. To get here, Holcomb went through Eureka and Remington, and to get here for Hesston, they went through Riley and Clay Center. This is the 30th annual Trojan Classic. And we will begin shortly with the rest of the broadcast. We will start with the introduction of the teams here real quick. Starting with the away team, the Holcomb Longhorn. With the away team, the Holcomb Longhorns, and then alternating back and forth between them and the Hesston Swathers. Starting for the Longhorns, number 3, Brody Dennison. For the Hesston Swathers, number 1, Jackson Fry. For the Holcomb Longhorns, number 12, Caden Hardy. For Hesston, number 4, Asher Duschendorf. For Holcomb, number 13, Corbin Johnson. For the Swathers, number 5, Adrian Hernandez. For the Holcomb Longhorns, number 23, Jarrett Errol. For number 14 for the Swathers, Reed Friesen. Number 44 for the Holcomb Longhorns, Drayton Knoll. Finally for the Swathers, number 22, Daniel Lumbreras. Those are your starters for tonight's game. We'll now transition over to the Star Spangled Banner, sung by Kirsten Gooch. Cameron Gooch.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart
boarded in. Boarded by Hardy. Hardy gives it to Dennison. Gives it to Harrell. Back to Dennison. Foul on Friesen.
Fouls on number 14, Reeves Friesen.
Longhorns ball. They get it into Denniston. Denniston gets it into Harrell. Harrell gives it out to Hardy. Hardy get it inside to Noel, and shots knocked down by Harrell. First points of the game by the Longhorns. They get it inside to Lambrez, or Hutcherson. Andez got that shot, excuse me. Longhorns working inside to Noel. Noel goes to work. Noel gets a spinning shot and finishes it. Fry will bring it up the court. Over to Friesen. Over to Lambrez. Lambrez gives it to Friesen. Over to Fry. To the corner to Duchendorf. Over to Friesen for three, and he knocks it down. Denniston brings the ball up for the Longhorns. Over to Harrell. Over to Johnson. Gives it to Hardy. Hardy shoots a three off the rim and boarded by Friesen of the Swathers. Lambrez pushes the ball up the court. Over to Friesen, over to Fry. Back to Friesen for another three. Can't knock it in. Boarded by Johnson. Johnson pushes it up. He gives it to Hardy. Hardy gives it to Harrell. Harrell gets it inside to Noel. Noel works, goes to work, and can't get anything. Boarded by Fry. Fry tries to push it up court. Gets it to the Duchendorf, who knocks down the and one basket. He'll go to the line for one. Fouls on number 12, Caden Hardy, his first, team's first. Number 24 comes in for the Longhorns, Landon Leonard. Duchendorf will shoot one from the line. Short. Boarded by Denniston. Slow it down so they can get a play set up. He gives it to Leonard. Leonard around the horn. Oh, and tipped away by Friesen. Trying to get it into Noel, but tipped away by Friesen. In for the Swathers, Gonzalez. Also in for the Swathers, number 11, Ty Unruh. Holcomb inbounds it to Noel. Over to Johnson. Johnson gives to Hardy, back to Johnson. Pump fakes a three, drives. Crow hops in to Leonard for three. Can't knock it down. Boarded by Friesen. Gives to Fry to take up the court. Fry will drive. Gives it to Friesen. Over to Hernandez. Hernandez to the corner. And Unruh can't knock down the three. Hesston's able to tip the ball. And they change the call, Longhorns ball. Number 3, Blake Hansen for the Swathers checks in. Number 5, Keegan Johnson for the Longhorns. Hardy will bring it up for the Longhorns. Hardy gives to Johnson. Over to Johnson. Hardy. Oh, stolen by Fry. Fry throws down the dunk. Gives some momentum to the Swathers here. Timeout called by the Longhorns. Number three, Brody Denniston, and number 44, Drayton Knoll will both sub in for the Holcomb Longhorns. 30-second timeout here. That's going to give Hesston some good momentum. Holcomb came out strong to start, but that start was faded very quickly. We'll take a quick break here. Four minutes into the first quarter. Longhorns ball down 9-4. They get it into Denniston, my bad. Denniston to Johnson for three, and off the back of the rim. Out of bounds off of Harrell's hands. Swather's ball going the other way. Fry gives it to Unruh. Unruh gets it to Gonzalez. Over to Friesen. Looks to shoot, doesn't. Gonzalez to Fry. Over to Unruh. Unruh gives it to Hansen. Gets over to Fry in the corner. Friesen for three, and just doesn't go in. Balls looks like it was tipped out of bounds by Unruh. Longhorns ball. 5, Johnson will inbounds it. He'll take it up. Get it over to Harrell. Harrell gets it inside to Knoll. Knoll will go to work. And he gets a tough finish. He wants to call but doesn't get it. Fry gives it to Unruh. Unruh dribbles around. Over to Hansen. To Friesen. To Gonzalez. He looks to shoot. Drives. Gets it to Unruh. Over to Fry. Gets a fake screen from Friesen. Then gets to Friesen. Gonzalez to Unruh. Up top to Fry. Fry drives and can't get the tough finish. Boarded by Knoll for the Longhorns. Denniston takes it up. Denniston drives. Dishes to Knoll. Knoll can't get the finish. Boarded by Friesen of the Swathers. Longhorns coach wanted a foul on that play. Not going to get it though. Into Friesen. Over to Hansen. Foul called on the Longhorns. The Swathers ball underneath their own basket. Fouls on number 3. Fouls on number 3. Denniston. In for the Swathers is number 4, Asher Duchendorf. Number 5, Adrian Hernandez, and number 22, Daniel Lamberas. And that's Hernandez getting that bucket. Also in for the Longhorns, number 33, Aiden Brown. Brown gets it over to Hardy, inside to Knoll. Knoll tries to go to work, instead kicks it out to Hardy. Gives it to Brown. Brown to Denniston up top. He's getting a couple screens from Knoll there. Pulls up and can't knock down the jumper. Boarded by Lumbreras. Gives it to Duchendorf. Duchendorf gets a screen from Friesen. Pull up Jay. Knocks it down. Denniston will take it up the court. Over to Brown. To Hardy. Over to Johnson. Johnson tries to drive. Gives it to Knoll. Knoll can't get the shot in, but gets the foul. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 fouls on number 14, Reed Friesen. His second, team second. Minute remaining in the first. Knoll will shoot 2. He knocks down the first. Checking in for the Swathers is number 1, Jackson Fry. And in for the Longhorns, number 24, Landon Leonard. Drayton Knoll knocks down a second. And number 23, Jarrett Harrell, comes in to get him. Fry will bring it up. Hernandez gives Fry a screen. He drives, kicks out to Hernandez. Hernandez trying to pull up Jay. Can't get it in. Hardy gets the board and he'll push it up court. Gives it to Leonard. Leonard gives it to Denniston. Denniston gets it, fuses the screen. Foul called on number 22, Lumbreras. His first, team's third. And checking in for the Longhorns, number 44, Drayton Knoll. Also in for the Swathers, number 3, Blake Hansen, number 34, Carter Gonzalez. Longhorns ball. Denniston gets it with 30 seconds remaining. And a foul called on number 3, Blake Hansen. His first, team's fourth. And number 22, Daniel Lumbreras, will come and sub in for him. Get it to Denniston on the inbounds. Over to Hardy. Over to Leonard. Back to Hardy. Over to Johnson Harrell. And tipped away by Duchendorf. Hardy shoots a 3. Way short on that. Out of bounds. Swathers ball. Number 11, Ty Unreal, checks in for the Swathers. In for Holcomb, number 5, Keegan Johnson, and number 13, Corbin Johnson. Carry called on number 1, Jackson Fry. He's not happy about it. In for the Longhorns, number 12, Caden Hardy, and number 44, Drayton Knoll. About 1 second. Oh, and in for the Swathers, number 14, Reed Friesen. Trying to figure out the spot here where the inbound should be made. And stolen by Duchendorf and blocked in the period. Scores 13-8 in the first. Knoll is leading for the Longhorns, and tie for leading score between Duchendorf and Hernandez for the Swathers. Swathers are pretty split out with their scoring. Both Duchendorf and Hernandez having 4 points. Knoll dominating on the Longhorns side with 6. And we'll take a quick little break here. We'll be back at the end of the break. And welcome back to the championship match. Start the second quarter. It'll be Longhorns ball. Inbounded by Corbin Johnson. He gets it out to Brody Denniston. Denniston will take it up, guarded by Fry. Gets it over to Hardy. Gets a screen from Knoll. Gives it over to Denniston. Denniston drives. Way up to Hardy. And stolen by Duchendorf, but more bounced around, and Johnson of Holcomb's able to get it. Gets over to Denniston, back to Hardy, back to Johnson. Inside to Knoll. Foul called on Fry. Fry thought it was a jump ball. Ref says otherwise. His first, team's first. Longhorns will have it underneath their basket. Tipped out by Fry. Johnson will inbound the ball from the side. He gets it in to Denniston right away. Denniston goes over to Johnson. Johnson drives baseline and gets a tough basket. Fry brings it up for the Swathers. Gives to Hernandez, over to Duchendorf. Up top to Gonzalez, over to Lumbreras. Lumbreras drives, kicks out to Hernandez. Gets a screen. Not able to use it. Tries and drives. Fouls on the floor. Fouls on number 23, Jarrett Harrell for the Longhorns. His first, team's first. Swathers get the ball underneath their own basket. And the inbounds is stolen by Corbin Johnson. Gives it up to Denniston to take up. Over to Harrell, over to Johnson. Inside to Knoll. Knoll looks around before going to work. Then stolen by Duchendorf. He's got a few of those tonight. Up to Gonzalez. Gonzalez can't finish though. And boarded by Corbin Johnson. Denniston pushes it up court. Over to Harrell. Slow it down here. Hardy gets the ball. He drives baseline. Can't knock it down. Boarded by Knoll though. Knoll. Foul called on the Swathers. They wanted a jump ball call there. Foul is on number 5, Adrian Hernandez. His first, team second. Knoll will go line to shoot 2. Misses the first. Coming in for the Swathers, number 11, Ty Unruh. Gets Asher Duchendorf. Knocks down the second. Number 24, Landon Lineage subs in for the Longhorns. Fry will bring it up the court. Gives it to Lumbreras. Over to Hernandez. Hernandez to Fry. Fry looks to drive over the top to Hernandez. Stolen by Johnson. Johnson gives it to Denniston. Denniston slows it down a little bit. Guarded by Fry. Over to Johnson. Stolen by Fry. Fry puts it in. Denniston will bring it up the court. Passing around up top, gets its way back to Denniston. Refuses the screen from Errol. Goes up for the layup, and the foul is called on Hesston. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Fouls on number 22, Daniel Umbrera's. His second, team's third. At the line. Brody Denniston misses the first. Checking in for the Swathers, number 14, Reed Friesen. And checking in for the Longhorns, number 5, Keegan Johnson. Denniston knocks down the second. Hands it off to Gonzalez. Gives to Unruh. Inside to Hernandez. Gonzalez. Travels called on Gonzalez. And checking in for the Longhorns is number 44, Drayton Knoll. Longhorns ball in front of their own student section. Denniston will take it up. Gives it to Leonard. Leonard gives Johnson over to Denniston. Inside to Knoll. Knoll back out to Denniston. Pump fakes. Step back 3 does not fall. Boarded by Gonzalez. Friesen gives to Unruh. Unruh gives up to Fry, who sets it up at the top. They start their play. Get it inside to Hernandez. Back out to Friesen. Shoots the 3. Can't knock it down. And over the back called on the Swathers, number 11, Ty Unruh. His first, team's 4th. And for the Swathers, number 4, Asher Duchendorf. And in for the Longhorns, number 23, Jarrett Harrell. As well as number 13, Corbin Johnson. Inside to Johnson. Knoll. Out to Johnson. Stolen by Duchendorf. Fry brings it up, gives it to Hernandez. Over to Duchendorf for the corner. To Friesen. Fry over to Unruh in the corner. Hernandez gets a good look, doesn't shoot it though. Kicks out to Fry instead, who can't hit the 3. Hernandez gets the board and gets the foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2. Fouls on number 44, Drayton Knoll. His first, team second. Hernandez will shoot 2. He knocks down the first. And for the Swathers, number 3, Blake Hansen. And in for the Longhorns, number 12, Caden Hardy. Hernandez knocks down the second. Full timeout, Hesston Swathers. And welcome back to the Trojan Classic Championship game. Score 17-12 Hesston. 4 minutes remaining in the second. Longhorns ball on the baseline. Denniston will bring it up, guarded by Fry. Over to Johnson. Gets a screen over to Denniston. Hardy back up to Denniston. Gets it inside to Knoll. Knoll goes to work and called for a travel. Fry will bring it up for the Swathers. Gets a screen from Friesen. Tries and drives over to Dudendorf, up to Friesen. Hansen to Hernandez in the corner. Hernandez drives and gets the tough and one basket. And he's pumped up about that one. He'll go to the line to shoot one. That's his 8th point on the night. Subbing in for the Longhorns, number 24, Landon Leonard. And in for the Swathers, number 34, Carter Gonzalez. Hernandez will shoot one from the line. He can't knock down. Get it to Denniston to take up the court. Denniston gets it inside to Johnson. Johnson gets it out to Hardy. Hardy tries to drive baseline, nothing's there though. Give it up top to Johnson. Denniston, Hardy, Leonard, Johnson, Denniston. Denniston drives and can't knock down the shot, but he'll get the foul. He'll shoot two. Fouls on number 1, Jackson Fry. His second, team's 5th. Brody Denniston will shoot 2 from the line. Knocks down the first one. Subbing in for the Swathers, number 11, Ty Unruh. He gets Jackson Fry. Knocks down the second. Timeout called by the Longhorns. 30-second timeout. Score is 19-14. 3 minutes remain. Leading scorers, same for the Longhorns with Drayton Knoll with 7. And number 5, Adrian Hernandez for the Swathers with 8. Take a quick little break here. Swathers will have their ball going the other way. Unruh will bring it up for the Swathers. Gives it to Dudendorf over to Gonzalez. Stolen by Leonard. Leonard realizes he doesn't have numbers and pulls it back. Gets it to Denniston. Denniston refuses the screen, drives, and blocked on the layup. Still be their ball in for the Swathers, number 3, Blake Hansen. Be Longhorns ball underneath their own basket. They throw it up to Johnson. Get it into Hardy. Hardy goes to work and can't put the shot in. Boarded by Hernandez. He gives it to Unruh to take up the court. Gives it to Hernandez. Gets a screen from Friesen. Gives it to Unruh. Over to Friesen. Friesen looks to shoot, doesn't though. Goes around the top, the corner to Unruh. Up top to Hansen, over to Friesen. And pump drives, pull up Jay, knocks it down. Denniston will bring it up, over to Johnson, over to Leonard, up top to Hardy. Hardy looks to shoot, doesn't, gives it to Leonard. Leonard gives it to Johnson, gives it to Denniston. They'll set up the offense. Over to Hardy, up to Johnson, to Denniston. Knoll shoots a three, can't get it to fall, boarded by Friesen. Gives Unruh, takes it up slow. Stand around, let the play set up, gets it into Friesen. Friesen just shoots it right there and rims out. Denniston gets the board. Denniston to the corner, Hardy to corner, Johnson, Denniston. Gets a screen from Nolan, shoots the three and knocks it down. Knocks down the three with a minute remaining. Bring the lead, bring it down to 4. Friesen has it, over to Hernandez. Hernandez looks to drive. Doesn't get anything, but he does get a foul. Foul's on number 13, Corbin Johnson. His first, team's 4th. Subbing in for the Swathers, number 34, Carter Gonzalez. The Swathers ball underneath their own basket. In for the Longhorns, number 33, Aiden Brown. He gets Knoll. Unruh will inbound it. Gets it to Hansen. Over to Duchendorf. To Hernandez. Unruh gets it over to Duchendorf. Back to Unruh. Looks at Hansen. Barely gets it over. Over to Hernandez. Tries to throw it inside. Gets tipped right into Carter Gonzalez's hands. Hernandez tries to shoot the three. Doesn't get it. Fouls on number 33 for the Longhorns, Aiden Brown. His first, team's 5th. Gonzalez will go line to shoot 2. Can't get the first. In for the Longhorns, number 44, Drayton Knoll. He gets Aiden Brown. Gonzalez lines up the second. Can't get either to fall. Denniston has it with 20 seconds remaining. They set up their play. Denniston gets inside and easy to Knoll, easy bucket with a few seconds left. And doesn't get the last second shot off. Good finish to the half for the Longhorns. Brings it down to a 2-point game, 21-19 Hesston. Your leading scorers for the half are number 5, Adrian Hernandez for the Swathers, and number 44, Drayton Knoll for the Longhorns. We will be back after half.
Hi, my name is Valerie Edgar, and this is Alyssa. I started the shop with my mom to really create a community and a place for people to come and feel good, hang out, and shop.
MB Foundation began to help better serve people and churches of the U.S. Mennonite Brethren Church family. With core values of integrity, stewardship, and service, our mission is to encourage generosity to gather, manage, and distribute resources. We are a family of families helping others carry out biblical principles. We call that giving meaning to money.
Well, I'm Shannon Parsons. I am the owner here at Level Up Nutrition. Our mission statement would be that we just want to enrich people's lives with healthy nutrition and weight management. But basically the features that we promote are weight management, muscle gain. We can provide more energy. We can also help people who need to gain weight. So there's lots of different options for people.
Dale's Supermarket, family run since 1959. Local and delicious groceries as well as great prices. Check out our weekly deals in the Hillsboro Free Press. Come in and see our great selection of fresh deli meats and our world famous sausage ready to take home. We're conveniently located on the corner of Main and Grand, so stop in today for all your grocery needs.
Welcome back to the Trojan Classic, 30th annual Trojan Classic championship for the men. Hesston Swathers versus the Holcomb Longhorns. Longhorns are down 21-19. With leading scorers for both teams being number 5, Adrian Hernandez for the Swathers, and number 44, Drayton Knoll with 9 for the Longhorns. Your starters for the second half, same as the beginning, but I'll say them again. Number 1, Jackson Fry. Number 4, Asher Duchendorf. Number 5, Adrian Hernandez. Number 14, Reed Friesen. Number 22, Daniel Lambrez. That's for the Swathers. And for the Holcomb Longhorns, number 3, Brody Denniston. Number 12, Caden Hardy. Number 13, Corbin Johnson. Number 23, Jarrett Harrell. And number 44, Drayton Knoll. Those are your starters for the second half of this basketball game. Winner of this game will be crowned the championship of the 2024 30th Annual Trojan Classic. It will be Swathers' ball to start the half. Asher Duchendorf was being a menace on defense in the first half with quite a few steals. I'm not for sure on the exact number, but I can recall at least 4. Might be more. That's what's led to most of the Swathers' points this game is a lot of turnovers on the Longhorn side. Jackson Fry will give the ball to Lambrez to start the quarter. Gives to Friesen, back to Lambrez. Over to Duchendorf, inside to Hernandez. Hernandez looks around to Friesen up top for 3, and goes everywhere but through the net. Denniston will bring it up for the Longhorns. Over to Harrell, to Hardy, over to Johnson, back to Denniston. Back to Hardy, to Harrell, to Denniston. Denniston looks around, finally gets it over to Hardy. Hardy shoots a 3 and knocks that one down for their first lead since the beginning of the game. Friesen gives it to Lambrez. Lambrez gives it to Friesen, to Fry, and into the corner to Duchendorf. Looks around up top to Friesen, to Lambrez. Fry in the corner. He drives baseline and gets the easy basket. Knoll didn't know he was there and couldn't get the help side D. Denniston brings the ball up the court for the Longhorns. To Hardy in the corner, to Knoll up top. Knoll hands it off to Denniston. Denniston dribbles around, gives it to Harrell, to Johnson in the corner, to Hardy. Inside to Knoll. He looks to go to work. Outside to Harrell, swings it up top to Denniston. Denniston pull up J, can't knock it down. And I believe a foul on the Longhorns, number 23, Jarrett Harrell. I believe that'll be his, on 20. Oh, never mind, it was on the Swathers, number 22, Daniel Lambrez. Swathers fans aren't happy about that. That's Lambrez's 3rd. He's going to get checked out. And going in for him is number 11, Ty Lue. That's the team's first foul. Longhorns ball. Swathers fans not happy with that call. Get it inside to Knoll. Hands it off to Johnson. Gives it to Denniston. Denniston to Harrell. Up top to Hardy. Back to Harrell. To Knoll up top. Over to Johnson. Johnson drives and gets the tough finish. Under Friesen's arm. Fry pushes it up court. Friesen drives, and Friesen can't finish, but gets a foul called. Foul's on number 44, Drayton Knoll. His second, team's first. Reed Friesen will go to the line for 2. Knocks down the first. And he knocks down the second. Subbing in for the Swathers, number 34, Carter Gonzalez. He checks in for number 4, Asher Duchendorf. Longhorns ball, and looks like it's a full court press here from the Swathers. They get it into Knoll. He gives it just right back to Hardy. And they get it over to Denniston. Crosses half court. Inside to Johnson. Johnson drives. And they're going to call a charge on that play. They say he lowered the shoulder a little bit there. Fouls on number 13, Corbin Johnson, charge. His second and team's second. Swathers ball underneath the far basket. Fry in the corner. Fry drives, puts up the tough shot, can't get it to fall. Number 3, Denniston takes it up. Unruh gets a little roughed up on that play. Johnson for 3, can't get it in. And a little bit of roughage down below. Hey, Longhorns get up top to Denniston, inside to Knoll from Hardy. Outside to Johnson. And Johnson knocks down the 3. Gives it to Friesen over to Unruh. Unruh gives it to Hernandez at the top of the key. Back to Unruh in the corner. Friesen inside, he goes to work. And he wants a foul on the shot, doesn't get it. Boarded by number 12, Hardy. Hardy gets it over to, Hardy gets it back. Over to Johnson. Denniston to Harold. To Johnson. He drives. Tries getting the little floater off the side. Doesn't get anything. Gonzalez pushes it up to Unruh. Unruh drives. Gonzalez. Friesen over to Hernandez. Corner to Fry. Back to Hernandez. He goes to work. And he can't get the tough finish. Boarded by Johnson. Corbin Johnson. He gives it to Denniston. He gets it to Harrell. To Hardy, back to Harrell. Inside to Knoll. Knoll gives it to Hardy. Hardy shoots the 3 and can't knock it down. Boarded by Knoll and gets it to Harrell. Harrell doesn't get the shot. One's a foul. Boarded by Fry. He pushes it up court. And he does a nice little Europe, but can't get the shot to go in. Boarded by Hardy. Denniston slows it down, lets them get set. Foul. Timeout called by the Longhorns. Full timeout, and we'll take a quick break here. And welcome back to the game. Subbing in over that break is number 24, Landon Leonard for the Longhorns. And number 5, Keegan Johnson. also for the Longhorns. Also, number 22, Lumbreras, came in for the Swathers again. They work it around up top and out of bounds on the Longhorns. Pass to where he thought his guy was going to be. His guy did not go there. Swathers ball. Fry brings it up the court. Guarded by Leonard. He tries to get inside to Fry, but tipped away by Harrell, or tries to get inside to Friesen. Excuse me. Lumbreras will inbound it. Lumbreras gets it inside gets it into Friesen. Back, he gives it back to Lumbreras, who gets swung around, and back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets it to Duchendorf. And Gonzalez's shot gets swatted. Longhorns. Johnson has it up top. Gives it to Denniston. It's around. Leonard gives it to Johnson. Back over to Denniston. Denniston drives, spin move, and can't. Just goes everywhere around the rim, but it doesn't fall. And the ball goes off of Friesen's leg. It'll be Longhorns ball. In for the Swathers is number 5, Adrian Hernandez. And for the Longhorns, number 44, Drayton Knoll. And Knoll gets inbounds, but he just throws it right back to Denniston. Denniston brings it up. Gives it to Harrell, over to Johnson. Johnson gives it to Johnson. And then tipped out of bounds by Fry. Longhorns ball. And they sent the sub too late. Johnson has it, gets a screen from Knoll. They swing it around all the way over to Denniston. Knoll gets it up top. He dribbles over and gives it to Johnson. Johnson shoots a 3 and way short. Fry gets it way over to Friesen. Friesen gets it to Duchendorf, who gets fouled on the shot. He'll be shooting 2. Fouls on number 44, Drayton Knoll. His third, team's third. Duchendorf will shoot 2 from the line. He knocks down the first. Subbing in for the Longhorns, number 12, Caden Hardy, and number 33, Aiden Brown. Duchendorf can't knock down the second one. Tipped out of bounds by Hernandez. And Denniston will inbound it. Gets it into Brown, gives it right back to Denniston. Denniston's guarded by Fry. Denniston gets it over to Johnson. Johnson gives it to Harrell up top. Harrell hands it off to Denniston. Looks for the 3, doesn't shoot it. Gives it over to Brown. Brown gives it to Hardy, who gives it to Harrell. Harrell hands it off to Johnson, up top to Brown. Hands it off to Denniston, who gives it to Harrell. Harrell tries to give it to Hardy, but picked off by Duchendorf. That's what he's been doing the entire game. Some big plays made by Duchendorf tonight. Fry will bring the ball up court for the Swathers. 10 seconds remain in the quarter. He drives and can't get the layup. Brown gets the board. and they'll just wait out the clock to end the quarter. Some big plays here. Holcomb gets back the lead after not having it since the very beginning of the game, and they've barely held on to that. It's 26-27, Holcomb up by 1. Leading scorers, Swathers, I believe it's still number 5, Adrian Hernandez, and number 44, Drayton Knoll. In for the Swathers over that break is number 5, number 22, Lumbreras, and I believe that was only sub made. Denniston gets the long 3. Wild shot, and it falls in. Quick start to the 4th there to get a 4-point lead. Fry gives it to Duchendorf. Back to Duchendorf. Friesen goes to work in the paint, and he gets the shot. Denniston will bring it up for the Longhorns. Denniston gives it to Harrell up top, over to Hardy. Hardy drives baseline, doesn't get anything. Kicks it out to Harrell, back to Hardy. To Johnson, to Denniston. Denniston for another one, and he knocks it down yet again. Tightly contested there. And they work it around the horn to Lumbreras. Try to get it inside to Fry. Swathers will inbound it underneath their own basket. Fry. Tipped out by Johnson on the inbounds. Swathers ball on the other side now. Fry will inbound it. Gets it into Friesen. Friesen takes a dribble over and pulls up from the free throw line. Once a foul, doesn't get it. Makes it a 3-point game. Denniston will bring it up. Gets a screen from Harrell, refuses it, and is able to go all the way to the basket for the and one. Denniston will go to the line to shoot one. Foul was on number 22, Daniel Lumbreras, his 4th, team's 1st. Denniston knocks it down, and number 34, Carter Gonzalez, I believe will come in. Yes, he'll get Daniel Lumbreras. I'll probably want to preserve him for the end of the game. See if Hesston can get back the lead they had. Down 6 here. Work it around the horn over to Duchendorf. And Hernandez is able to get the shot, as I believe the Longhorns player was trying to get a foul, couldn't get it, and Hernandez is able to just get the easy bucket off the backboard. Reed Friesen now leading the Swathers with most points, by the way, with 11. And number 3, Denniston now also. So team point leaders have changed for both teams. Timeout was called by the Swathers. Number 3, Brody Denniston, is now leading for the Longhorns with 15 points with those 2 amazing threes to start off the 4th. And Friesen, with his hot start to this 4th as well, has 11 on the night. Followed closely by number 5, Adrian Hernandez, with 10. Four-point lead for the Longhorns. They'll keep it up. And Denniston will bring it up. Gets a couple whiff screens, and they will call a moving screen. Or not a moving screen, just a little extra from number 23, Jarrett Harrell. His 3rd, team's first, will be Swather's ball. See if the Swathers can make up some ground with that. Friesen has it up top, over to Hernandez. Gets it over to Fry. Fry pump fakes the 3. Over to Hernandez. Duchendorf drives, kicks out to Gonzalez for the 3, and airballs it. Hernandez tries to save, but can't. Longhorns ball. In for the Swathers, number 11, Ty Unruh. He gets Duchendorf. They get it into Denniston. Denniston's had a hot start to this 4th quarter. See if he can keep it up. Gets it over to Johnson. Gets a screen from Knoll. Doesn't get anything out of it. Knoll comes up. Here's a screen for Denniston. Denniston tries to get it. Gets a foul. Swathers are not happy about that one. Fouls on number 1, Jackson Fry. His 3rd. Team's 2nd. Brody Denniston will go to the line to shoot 2. In for the Longhorns, number 12, Caden Hardy. I believe he just checked in. He knocks down both, stretching their lead to 6 again. They have it over to Unruh. Gonzalez drives, kicks out to Friesen. Friesen pump fakes the 3. Fuses the screen, gives it to Hernandez. Gives a screen for Hernandez. Hernandez curls off of it. Doesn't get anything from it though. Friesen gives it right back to Hernandez. Hernandez gives it to Unruh. Unruh over to Gonzalez. Up top to Friesen. Friesen gets it to Hernandez on the side. And a walk called on Hernandez. And they get it to Denniston. Inbounds. Denniston takes it up. Takes it, tries to get a drive. Stolen by Ty Unruh. And loses control. Out of bounds on Unruh. Checking in for the Sothers, number 4, Asher Duchendorf, and number 22, Daniel Lamberas. And get it to Hardy. Hardy gives it to Johnson to take up. He gives it to Harrell. Harrell gives it to Denniston. Denniston looking to make something happen. Gives it to Johnson for the 3. Can't get it to fall. Boarded by Hernandez. Hernandez takes it up the court. Gives it over to Lambreros to Friesen for 3. Can't knock it down. Fry gets the board and can't get the putback though. 4 minutes remain. Holcomb up 6. And Denniston can't put down the 3. Duchendorf kicks it up to Fry. Fry gets a little Euro step to go in, pro hop. And timeout, full timeout called by the Swathers, I believe. We'll take a quick break here.
Dale's Supermarket, family run since 1959. Local and delicious groceries as well as great prices. Check out our weekly deals in the Hillsboro Free Press. Come in and see our great selection of fresh deli meats and our world-famous sausage ready to take home. We're conveniently located on the corner of Main and Grand, so stop in today for all your grocery needs.
And we're back from the break. Holcomb up 4 for Hesston, 38-34. Longhorns ball on the opposite baseline. Denniston will inbounds it for the Longhorns. They get it into Corbin Johnson, who gives it right back to Denniston. They've done that almost every single time, or at least that play. They get it over to Leonard, who I believe checked in over the break. Denniston looks to shoot, doesn't. Gives it to Harrell, gives it to Hardy, gives it to Johnson. Johnson dribble, hands-offs to Leonard, who gives it to Harrell. Harrell gives it to Denniston. Denniston wanted to shoot it, but Fry was all over that. Johnson gets it. He hands it off to Hardy. Hardy gives it to Harrell. And stolen by Fry. Fry gets the fast break left-handed layup. He wants a foul. Denniston brings it up. They're up 2. Gives to Leonard. And bad pass ends up still getting to Hardy. Denniston has it. Gets it inside to Johnson. Gives it to Leonard. Denniston. Denniston step back to Leonard for 3. Can't get it to fall. Friesen gets the board. A chance to tie it up here for the Swathers, or even take the lead with the 3. Fry takes it up the court. Screen from Hernandez. He drives, kicks out to the corner to Duchendorf for 3. Can't get it to fall. Boarded by Leonard, who gives it to Denniston. Denniston will slowly take it up the court. 2:20 remaining in the game. Timeout called by the Longhorns. 2:17 remaining. Full timeout. Right now leading the Swathers in scoring. It's a very close race. 14 Reed Friesen leads, while number 1 Jackson Fry and number 5 Adrian Hernandez follow closely with 10. And number 3 Brody Dennison by far has the most points for the Longhorns with 17. He has gone off this 4th quarter. We'll see what they come out with during the half. It will be Longhorns ball, I believe, on the far half court. Hesston with 2 fouls, Holcomb with 1. We'll see if those come into play here at the end of the game. Holcomb up 2. Wild game here. We'll see if Holcomb can hold on to this lead, or if Hesston can bring it back and get the championship. 30th annual winner of this game. Just a quick reminder, winner of this game will be crowned the 30th annual Trojan Classic champion. Loser will take second, which is a feat in itself. Just getting to this game is a feat in itself. Both teams have put up a great gameplay so far. And checking in over the break was number 44, Drayton Knoll. They get it in to Corbin Johnson. Johnson gives it to Harrell. Over to Hardy. Looks inside, instead gives it to Denniston. Fry is all over Denniston right now. He doesn't want to give him any more. They get it inside to Knoll, who goes to work. Loses it, and stolen by the Swathers. Fry tries to push it up, but his coach tells him to set it up. Get something going here to try and get a basket with 1:50 remaining in the game. They hand it off to Lambrez. Get it over to Duchendorf. Inside. Friesen gets it, and they tie up the ball game, 38 all. Minute 30 remaining in the game. Number 3, Brody Dennison will bring it up for the Longhorns. Dennison gives it to Harrell. Hardy gets it up top to Johnson. Over to Dennison. Dennison gives it to Hardy, who gives it to Johnson. Up top to Dennison. Dennison gives it to Johnson, who gives it to Hardy. Hardy gives it to Dennison. Dennison gets a screen. Goes around, gives it to Hardy, gets it in the corner. Harrell up top. Dennison hands it off to Johnson. Johnson drives and gets the foul, but doesn't get it to fall. Fouls on number 5. Lumbreros had to make sure of that because he's close. That's Hernandez's second personal, team's third. And Johnson will line up for 2. Can't make the first. Checking in for the Longhorns, number 24, Landon Leonard. Lines up the second. Knocks it down. Gives him a 1-point lead with 45 remaining. He takes it up to half and calls a timeout to get that advantage of the ball. 42 seconds remaining. Tight game here tonight at Robert C. Brown Gymnasium. Hesston 38, Holcomb 39. Tight game. Don't know which way it's going to go. 42 seconds to get any shot, really. I think either team is fine with this game going into overtime. Right now, I don't know which way the momentum's rolling. But leading scorers remain the same. Number 14, Reed Friesen with 13. And number 3, Brody Dennison for the Longhorns with 17. We'll see what these teams come out in to try and get this game secured. That one free throw makes it a lot tougher for it to go in overtime, but I mean, with this game, you never know. You never know. Oh, we know we could be going for a while here tonight, folks. I would not be surprised. This game's been back and forth the entire game. I believe the largest lead might have only been like 5 points. No, 6. Because the Longhorns had 6-point leads multiple times, but Hesston was able to claw back both times. And right now, the Longhorns come out. Looks like they'll remain in man. And get it into Fry. Give it to Lumber. And a foul on number 24, Landon Leonard. His first, team second. 36 seconds remain on the clock. They get it into Fry. Give it to Lumbreros. Exact same look here. Over to Duchendorf. Duchendorf tries to get some space for himself. Up top to Free. Gets blocked, and I think you have to foul here. Foul on number 1, Fry. 20 seconds remain. This is... I'm not going to say this game is over. That's Fry's fourth. Fry's fourth, team's fourth. Fry gets checked out, and in comes Ty Unruh, and in for the Longhorns, number 44. Drayton, 22, can't foul. They need someone to foul him. And they call the foul on number 22, Daniel Lumbreros. He's going to get subbed out because that's his fifth, team's fifth. Number 1, Jackson Fry will come in for Lumbreros. And in for the Longhorns, number 24, Landon Leonard will sub in. He will shoot 2 here, as the Swathers have 5 fouls. probably the best option. Knocks down the first. Chance to take it a 3-point game here with 14 seconds remaining. Lines up the second. And can't knock it down. 2-point game. Stole it. Let's see what the call is here. Foul called on, not positive who. Foul's called on number 24 of the Longhorns, Landon Leonard, his second, team's third. 30-second timeout. This is 11 seconds. Holcomb can knock down both of these free throws. Wait. Swather's ball, my bad. Swathers will have the ball. The Swathers will have their ball underneath Longhorn's basket. So, Swather's ball underneath the basket. Holcomb up 2. You gotta have something good here if you're the Swathers. They keep Noel out. I feel like that's kind of a surprising play considering his size. But that's what they're doing. 11 seconds remain. Swathers get it in. They push it up court quickly. Into the cross to Hernandez. Foul is called. And the one time they don't want a foul called, they call it. 6 seconds remain. Foul is called on number 3, Denniston, his second, team's fourth. They get it into Friesen. Friesen loses it, and that should be the game. 1 second left, and Unruh fouls him. Swathers are mad there's no call there, but with 1 second remaining, Caden Hardy will go to the line to shoot 2. Foul is on number 2, Ty Unruh, his second. Team's already in the bonus. Longhorns will pull all their players out. He knocks down the first. If he knocks down this second one, this might be game. This is big. Longhorns call a timeout, full timeout. They're wanting to make sure that even if he does miss it, they are prepared for whatever. Either way, if they do make it, you're going to see Hesston probably try and draw the foul on the shot, which they're just going to pull everyone back probably. They're going to say don't even touch him. Just knock down the free throw and don't touch him. That would be my advice right here. One second remaining in the 30th annual Trojan Classic Championship. Looks like Longhorns have the lead here, but hey, anything can happen. It's 1 second. It's a wild game. Longhorns looking to secure it with this free throw, with Caden Hardy at the line with his second free throw. And he knocks it down. Puts it up. Can't knock it in. And the Holcomb Longhorns are the 30th annual Trojan Classic champions. Great game tonight played by both teams. Had it down to the end. The Swathers will come out with second place, which is a feat in itself. Holcomb will take home the championship, though. That was a game down to the last 30 seconds. I mean, last seconds, not even 30 seconds. That came down to one free throw. And I know either way, both teams put out a great show tonight. Great defensive performance by both teams. And high scoring leaders for the Swathers, number 14, Reed Friesen with 13 points, closely followed by number 1, Jackson Fry, number 5, Adrian Hernandez, both with 10. And your leader in points by far for the Holcomb Longhorns, number 3, Brody Denniston with 18. I'd say he's probably the reason they won this game tonight. If he won, he got that going for him right there at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and that carried them to this victory tonight, I believe. Big part of that was also getting it started inside so he could have those open shots with number 44, Drayton Knoll. Great game by both, and if you're going to listen to either games, if you're going to need to see any Hillsboro Trojan games at home, we will hopefully have them broadcasted. Guys game and girls games. 38-42 is the final score of this game. Wild night, wild night. Holcomb Longhorns take home the men's championship, while the Hillsboro Trojans take home the women's champion. Great game by all teams that participated. Thank you, everyone who's listening, everyone who came out and watched the game, and hopefully see you next year. And I'm out.